Welcome to the new America. The reason is fear. Fear has become its own justification. Its own justification. I mean, look at what happened with Trayvon Martin. The only way that jury allows him to walk is if they identify with the coward George Zimmerman. Angela writes, late but good morning. Cruther writes, good to have you, Angela. Cruther writes, did the clown talk about any policies yesterday? You mean the clown prince of Republican policies? That would be Donald Trump? Probably not. Same old with Donald Trump. No, can't get my vote. Can't get my vote. Woody writes, that is all we need running for president. The dump and the devil. The dump? Keisha writes, I am very interested to see if Trump and Clinton speak out today concerning these deaths. Personally, I believe that if Hillary Clinton wants to support black voters, then she needs to support issues that black voters care about. At the top of that list right now is we need a leader. We need someone to lead the charge when it comes to standing up and talking straight and keeping it real about police brutality. That's what we need. Is Hillary Clinton going to do that? If she doesn't, will you still vote for her, black man, black woman? Very interesting. Jericho writes, have they released the officers named? I am pissed. I have not read any names of officers, and I get it. They want to protect the officers. I understand it. Keisha writes, so will the NRA stand up for him since he had a conceal and carry permit? I doubt it. That's a good one, Keisha. That's a good one. Probably not. Probably not. Angela writes, I'm confused as to what the answer is. Should you not reach for anything now when requested by law enforcement? I have always felt this, and I will continue to feel this when I get pulled over by law enforcement. I'll also tell you another little trick that I do. Whenever I get pulled over by law enforcement, I never wait to take my wallet out. But again, I'm not the kind, I don't drive around with my wallet in my pocket anyway. For numerous reasons. Number one, I just don't like the feel of it. And number two, if I'm purchasing something, maybe I stop through a drive-through. Don't judge me. Okay, now I got my little guilty pleasures. Don't judge me now. If you see me in a drive-through around Cincinnati, act like you don't see me unless you want to say hello. Don't be telling people what I'm ordering. And so I always keep my wallet outside of my pocket. And part of the reason, I'll be honest with you, is accessibility. If I get pulled over, I don't want to have to go through my pocket or lean over because I don't trust them, man. I don't trust them. Anything can happen. I'm going to reach it into my pocket, sir. I'm going to get my wallet. Anything can happen. And if the police officer gets the right jury and the right prosecutor and the right defense attorney, he will walk. Shannon writes, I'm scared at the thought of being pulled over. Yeah. There are some people, when they get pulled over, they're absolutely shaking. They're shaking in their car. Never did anything wrong. Don't have any warrants. Never committed a crime. Okay. Sterling record, good credit record, the whole 9 yards. You got a full-time job. People know you. People respect you. And when you get pulled over, you're nervous as hell because you never know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. And what difference does it make if the officer is brought to justice after he makes a mistake? You're dead. Cruther writes, I no longer tell people to have a good day. I tell people to be safe. Yeah. I find myself saying the same thing with people. Be safe. Me and the real Terrence Howard used to have a running joke. And it was right after Trayvon Martin. We say to each other when we, after we leave, be safe, man. Don't put any hoodies on. Don't put a hoodie on. Oh, my God. This is crazy. Woody writes, they are trying to kill us one by one because they know by the time they put me in a box, black folks and Latinos will be the majority, and they can't take it. I mean, do you really believe that's what it is? People are agreeing with Woody. Okay. Crystal writes, these cops feel they don't owe us an explanation. They just want an immediate compliance. Right, I've seen that before. Officer comes on the scene. He's dealing with a lot of grown folks, and again, there is a difference. And he wants, or she wants, immediate compliance. Everybody got to shut up, stand over here. Not everybody's going for that. I'm telling you, some folks that you can't talk to them like that, whether you got a badge and a gun or not. There's some people that are going to react to that. They're going to challenge you. Well, you me stand over here. I ain't stand over there. What you talking about? I'm a grown ass man. You don't pay my bills. You just showed up on the scene. I ain't did nothing wrong. There's folks who feel that way, and I don't have a problem with it. You got every right to. You don't have to get on your knees and kiss their shoes. You shouldn't have to do that. And the kind of officer that will want you to do that is a bad officer, in my opinion. There are I've seen officers come to tense situations. I've seen Cincinnati police officers deal with tense situations. I've even seen UC police officers. Because again, I lived on the University of Cincinnati campus for many years after my graduation. My wife was working over there. And I remember an altercation between UC police and about 5, 6, 7, 8 college football players. Guns, hands on the guns. Cats was about to get shot. And then somebody just was like, listen, hey, let's calm this down, and back them off. I'm telling you, I've seen this with my own eyes. And I've seen officers in tense situations. And I thought those officers, I remember this, I thought those officers, man, they could have shot some of them young boys. But they didn't. So there's some officers with common sense out there. But there's also some officers who, they want to be Rambo on the scene. I said, do this. Give me your ID. Shut up. I'm not telling you why you under arrest. Did I say you was under arrest? Talking all super fly to wrong people. Not everybody is afraid of police like that. Not everybody's afraid of it. Okay. Pat writes, Nate, and the public pays these jokers salaries. What? They want a raise? Question mark? Well, okay, let's be fair here. The Cincinnati Police Department, the FOP, is looking for a raise. Okay. And none of their officers have been involved with this. And I know how people do, and what they do is kind of like they kind of generalize and lump all the officers together. And I get it. I might have even been guilty of it from time to time. But these are not Cincinnati police officers. Okay. Mr. Hollywood writes, it seems like President Obama haven't said anything about all this killing of black people. I don't watch TV much. Maybe he has. I've not read it. But here's the deal. You're talking about black men who are being killed by law enforcement. When law enforcement is involved, the president usually doesn't say anything. If it's black on black crime, he might say something. Oh, this killing in Chicago needs to end. Okay. If it's vigilante on black crime, he may say something, as in the case with Trayvon Martin and the coward George Zimmerman. That man's a coward. It was easy for him to say something from the Rose Garden that day because he didn't have to deal with the FOP. He didn't have to deal with law enforcement writing him letters saying, listen, hey, I know this wasn't my police department, but you're making us all look bad, Mr. President. Why don't you stay out of it? It's a local investigation, period. So don't expect for Obama to say anything. Now, if the people in these particular locales, I believe one is Baton Rouge, Louisiana, if they decide to hit the streets, if they decide that the people in Minnesota, if they decide to hit the streets and they riot and they burn things and it's a big spectacle, then the president will say something. He'll say something like, this thuggery has to end. Isn't this thuggery? Feels like it. Feels like it. Monique writes, you have no business being an officer if you're afraid of black people. It's sick. I do believe in some way these things are being done to frighten us. Basically, keep them ninjas in their place. Emasculation. Yes, Nate. Now another black child growing up fatherless. Another black woman forced to be a single mother. I'm sick as heck. That's Monique. Great flows, man. And I hope I'm doing service as I read your words. Jericho writes, what the... You know what? How is one supposed to act when we encounter law enforcement? Hell, when we follow their instructions, we get shot. Don't act so free in words is what they are telling us. Do you believe that's really what's going on? Are the police reacting to Black Lives Matter? Are they reacting to the first black family in the White House? I mean, hell, Barack may be biracial, and we're all mixed. Nobody's 100% anymore. But from what I understand, Michelle Obama is 100% sister. Do you think that people are reacting to that? How small? I'll be honest with you. Race is a factor for a lot of people. It matters. But in terms of judging people and working with people, I don't give a damn about no race. I don't care. I stand side by side with black and white and gay and straight and whoever you might be if you're on the right side of the issues. That's all I care about. I don't care. What difference does that make? You can be transsexual, you can be universal sexual, whatever the hell that means. If you on the same side of the issue I am, then we're brothers. Then we're together, period. Sad. And maybe the prescription for law enforcement is this: integration. Maybe the prescription for law enforcement is the same prescription that we need for the Republican Party. That we need more, they need to be diverse. Maybe we need more black police officers and more black captains and lieutenant and chiefs. Something tells me that we do. Maybe we need situations where we have more people of color who are in decision-making positions, command positions. Will that make a difference? Maybe if we could lift some of our neighborhoods throughout the nation. We've got many neighborhoods in the city of Cincinnati, right, that need our help, that have been overrun by drugs, overrun by hopelessness, overrun by blight, overrun by so many different issues. Maybe if we can solve that, then the police won't have to roll so hard in certain neighborhoods. And then maybe we'll see a different response, okay, when they're dealing with people. If you're a police officer and you're dealing with the craziest of the crazy, you're dealing with ish every single day. You're dealing with the worst of the worst. You're dealing with people that'll do anything for $1. You're dealing with people that's on rock bottom, skid row, always trying to hustle, always in the middle of something, always up to something, and the majority of them happen to be black. Is that going to cloud your perception and your judgment of black people in general? Will you start to say, listen, start to judge a book by the cover like, oh, look like you from that kind of town. You're one of those blacks. Oh, okay. And then you got the different blacks. I don't know. Different kind of black people. I don't know, folks. I don't know. Something tells me that there's something to it. You know, you spend this kind of time dealing in those kind of environments, it's going to change you. It's going to change your viewpoint on people. Nate, me and my family had to deal with this BS personally. 17 years ago when my brother was murdered by CPD. That's right. And for folks who don't know, and again, I believe that Daryl's okay with me sharing this. Some of you might remember Michael Carpenter many years ago. His name came up many, many times. Michael Carpenter. And he had a brick in his hand, I believe. He was surrounded by Cincinnati police and University of Cincinnati police, I believe. If I'm wrong about that, set me straight. And he was killed. And Daryl revealed to us some time ago that he, in fact, was a family member. So that's what he's talking about 17 years ago. So every time I see and hear about incidents like these, my anxiety is on high. My emotions rekindles when we heard about what happened with my brother. I know what those families are dealing with right now. Just sad, shaking my head. Well, I don't know. And I'm not going to act like I do. I do not know what that feels like. And I don't want to know what that feels like. And I sympathize for you and your family. And I can only imagine. It's traumatizing. Daryl, let me ask you this, man. If you don't want to answer, I won't probe it anymore. But was there any counseling provided by the city of Cincinnati? Any services, therapy on how to deal with it? Because I would imagine that if my brother, and I've got two little brothers, both of whom I love dearly, and I talk with them almost daily. The older I get, the more I spend time and talk with my brothers. I guess families like that. But if one of my brothers was killed by law enforcement, and if I continue to live in the city of Cincinnati, every time I saw a police officer, I would think about it. I would have some kind of feelings. Now, what those feelings are, I don't know. And I don't want to know. But I can imagine I would have some feelings. So, man, condolences. Cruther writes, they are scared of ISIS, homosexuals, blacks, Muslims. Why leave the house if you are so afraid? Shaking my damn head. What else here? Many of you are sending your chat in. Brian writes, I posted a video of an East Cleveland officer speaking out on shooting. Really? What did he say?